All right, let's get this party started. Just have a couple questions. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Jake, good to see you. It was nice to squash the beef earlier. I like the sunglasses and the whole look.
Thank you.
Are you trying to take the microphone away? What's going on?
I don't know, because they're in weird positions, right? Like you can't talk.
You can lift it up if you want.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me like this? All right.
I was thinking about something, Jake. You know, he has an incredible resume. Anderson Silva has done it all. He has fought them all. He has won so many big fights. Greatest start to a UFC career ever, and that record still stands. Is it possible that you, at just 5-0, actually has more pressure on his shoulders than Anderson Silva, the guy who's crossing over to fight the youngster, but there's so much more that you want to accomplish in this sport? I'm wondering if you actually feel like you have more pressure on your shoulders.
For sure. Definitely. You know, just being the A side and, you know, that alone and the amount of shit I talk to people, I think the whole MMA community is waiting for me to lose. They want me to lose. And yeah, I just have so many more, you know, big ideas and big plans in this sport, and I plan on being here forever. So this is the start of that, and yeah, the pressure's on. You know, I'm the young guy, and man, he's really, really good. So, and has more experience. He has the weight, he has the height, he has the reach. So really, all the odds are stacked against me.
Anderson, good to see you. Stephen mentioned that, you know, there are some people actually on Jake's team who thought, this is crazy. What are you doing? It's one thing to fight the guys you fought in the past, but Anderson's a different level of striker, and you're actually the only one that he has fought that has a history in boxing. Do you agree with those people? Do you think this man is crazy for fighting you?
Wow, for you come to fight this man of how the combat sport, you a little crazy. I'm a little crazy too.
But you enjoy that kind of craziness, I would imagine.
Absolutely. You know, this is not for everybody, you know. Everybody here, these guys here is special guys, you know. And for sure, everybody here is a little crazy.
When you watch his training footage, Jake, when you see him on the mitts yesterday at the open workouts, this is a different level of striking, right? Different level of speed. What goes through your mind?
Yeah, very, very fast, very rangy, very technical, good defense, good movement. I'll have to be perfect on Saturday night, and I know I'm capable of doing that, but it is going to be a very, very tough test, and I'm ready for war. And I think, you know, skill aside, it might come down to who wants it more, and I believe that is me.
Do you agree with that, Anderson? Do you think he wants it more than you?
That's the competition, you know. Everything is possible, but I training hard for make a good show for everybody.
One last one from me to you. We've seen you on so many big stages before, the Rich Franklin fights, the Forrest Griffin fights, Damian Maia, and later on the great fights that you had. I'm wondering, a win over Jake Paul, considering where you're at in your life, in your career, in this new sport, newish sport now for you, where would you rank this accomplishment? If you win on Saturday, where would you put that amidst all the great things that you've accomplished in your fighting career?
Wow, I think is very special for me. But I believe in after that I go to Dubai to fight Jiu-Jitsu, and I think is a challenge come to everybody here, and come the new challenge for Jake too. And I'm feel this come very special for everybody here, you know.
This guy's not slowing down. He's already got his next fight booked. He's going to Dubai. I mean, geez, Louise, 47? Look like 27, Anderson. You look fantastic.
I mean,
You've been working with Dr. Mike over there for some of that.
I try to do my best, you know, because I love fighting. I love my job. And now I'm free to do everything I like to do, you know. And I talk to my jiu-jitsu coach in Dubai, Ramon Lemos, in Abu Dhabi, and I go to the tournament, jiu-jitsu tournament with the gi.
C-level Kane, motivated BJ, free Anderson, a very dangerous fighter. I think we're starting to learn that. All right, let's go to the media for some questions here. Got a microphone right over there. If you don't mind, I've always wanted to say this. If you don't mind, you know, saying where you're from, your outlet, I think that's very official.
Yep. Andreas Hale with the Sporting News. Jake, this question is for you because you're not just a fighter, you're also a promoter. We've seen a fourth quarter that didn't get Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. We're not getting Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis, but we are getting Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. What is your message out there to the boxing world for the fans that want to see the biggest fights being made, and it seems like you're continuing to make them?
Yeah, get these fights done. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. Stop being greedy. Give people what they want. You don't look at every term in the contract and try to change it. Just fucking fight. You spar every day. Why not get paid fucking tens of millions of dollars to do it in front of people? They're very scared to risk their undefeated records, but boxing needs these big fights. Don't let your manager stop you. Don't let your promoter stop you. You got to be in control.
Question for Le'Veon Bell.
Welcome to Arizona and welcome to David Benavidez' neighborhood. My question is, I noticed that you mentioned Benavidez yesterday or sometime this week as a fighter, as your favorite fighter, and somebody that you would like to promote. I think he's tied to a promoter now, but what if he said, let's fight?
Me and David? Man, I'm not ready for a world champion at his caliber yet. But I don't know. I haven't thought about that possibility.
I mean, could you envision that someday?
I don't know. I think...
I mean, he can't find anybody to fight him.
Yeah.
Nobody will
He's
fight
going to
him.
have to keep looking.
Thanks.
Radio Rock. Jake, this morning you posted the problem child activated, and we've seen you talk about your meditation and this different kind of Jake Paul who's coming up. What is the difference between, if this is an alter ego, this alter ego, the problem child, and the Jake Paul that you are on a normal basis?
Yeah, I think when you get into that ring, you got to be ruthless, savage. You got to, be willing to do whatever it takes going through those darkest moments in the ring. You have to be a killer or you will be killed. And so that's where the problem child comes from. I'm a problem for anyone that's in the ring with me. And I can put you out at any second. I don't give a fuck. I'm a different person. I don't care about consequences when I'm in that alter ego. And I come alive. I come alive when I'm in that ring. And it's not, it's not Jake, it's someone else that I tap into.
And Anderson, you're referred to as the GOAT of UFC. Most people agree with that. Do you accept that this fight goes against your legacy, and that if you are beat on Saturday night, that counts against you as the GOAT and your legacy as a fighter?
Well, I don't believe that affect nothing in my legacy, in my journey in this combat sport. I believe I try to do my best to give something for the new generation, and Jake and I put on two big generations together, and people think, oh, this affect my legacy or affect the Jake legacy, but I don't believe that, because it's about passion, it's about love,
Hi, Penny Buffington from MMA Fight Coverage. Anderson, I wanted to ask you if the payout for this is comparable to what you were making in the UFC, or is it much higher? And assuming that it is much higher, would you have taken this fight if it wasn't the payout amount? Would you have taken the fight just because you're fighting Jake Paul, or are you fighting for the money?
Wow, I don't. So
Damn.
Let me tell you something. Everybody asks me about that situation, but I don't have problem to talking about that. And when I start fighting UFC, I make good contract. In every single fight, every single moment, I change my contract, I change everything. And I make good money. I don't have crazy life, and that's I save my money, and I make a lot of money in UFC. Of course, I can't say that my last fight in Mexico, I make more money than my two last fight in UFC.
I think you spent all your money on your toys. Saw that on it's a lot of toys, Anderson.
Yeah, I buy toys.
It's a lot of toys.
Yeah, a lot of toys.
This is the Schmo with the Schmo Zone. Question for the problem child, Jake Paul. You said there's people within your team that advised you against taking this fight. So at what point during training camp do you feel like you won those naysayers over?
I would say within like 2 weeks. I don't know. Is Logan here? What? You were like, are you sure you want to do this? And then now you probably think I'm going to win, all right?
Anderson, I love you.
I love you too, buddy. No, definitely not. Definitely not. No. You see the movie Hockey and Apollo? You see that when the guy's training in the last scene in the movie, they both give the punch, but you never know who's the win. Maybe next.
Sorry, my brother.
No.
It only has one way. So I love you. But to answer your question, Jake, about 2 months ago was when I became certain the fight was going to end the same as it always does. Again, Anderson, I love you, but you're going to be face down, horizontal by the end of the night.
Sorry, sir, can you please identify yourself? What's your outlet? Anderson, you need to join. This is what needs to happen now. I'm getting too excited.
But Logan was like, yo, are you sure you want to do this? It's Anderson Silva.
Anderson needs to join the bloodline after all of that smack talk and go to Saudi Arabia.
That's crazy because everybody asks me the same. You sure you go to that? You said Jake Paul. You sure? He's beating a lot of guys in UFC. You think? Yeah, I say yes. I think I'm ready for that. You know, he's younger than me, but I'm superhero.
And just one last question is for you.
For the first time ever, like Logan talked more shit to my opponent than I ever did.
I love you, man. I love you.
Spider, future UFC Hall of Famer, got one question for you. GSP, he's added to this broadcast. We never got to see the legendary matchup in MMA. Any chance you get through Jake Paul, you will campaign to face GSP inside a boxing ring?
Wow, I think that's good. You know, that's wow. First of all, you need to check it out. The GSP is out the contract at UFC.
Oh.
And because I think GSP can come and doing something special, the same us, you know.
Es a demostrar de que estoy hecho. Gracias a Dios vamos a tener un desempate que ya tuve con Nieves y pues vengo muy bien preparado y contento de representar a México y de mostrarles quién soy.
I couldn't be more thrilled to represent Mexico. I'm so excited and I'm glad that I'm able to have this grudge match to decide who of the two of us is truly better. I can promise you that I'm going to represent Mexico with all I have and this fight is going to be great. I can guarantee you that.
If I could just jump in real quickly, Jake mentioned that his team said that he was crazy initially, or I guess it was Logan who said that for taking this fight against Anderson Silva. I was thinking of Dr. Mike. Did your team say the same when you said that you were going to fight a guy with almost 20 MMA fights and a bunch of boxing fights on his record?
I think when I told that to my patients, my doctor colleagues, they were considering admitting me to the psych ward. But once they saw my passion for the sport, the reason why I fell in love with boxing, as I said in earlier interviews, 2010 was a rough year where I lost both of my grandparents and my mother. It was a dark time, and boxing allowed me an escape from that dark time. For the last 10 years, I've been practicing boxing as a hobby, as a way of fitness, and over the last year and a half, I've committed to the sport, sparring, training, had my first sold-out event in Tampa, Florida, 10,000 people, over 100,000 pay-per-view buys as the main event, won every single round on the judges' scorecards, and I'm looking to do even better on this event.
And he's a very humble guy. It is worth noting, shout out to Dr. Mike, worth noting that he is donating his entire purse to the Boys and Girls Club of Harlem, right? That's correct? The entire thing, 100%. So shout out to Dr. Mike.
Jack Big from The Sun. I've got a question for Ashton. Ashton, at the moment we've got a lot of over here. We've got a lot of young, upcoming American stars in the sport. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, list goes on. How quickly, in terms of years or fights, do you believe it will be until you're sort of mentioned alongside those names?
I'm honestly not too sure, but I feel like it will be in the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, look where I'm at right now. My 8th fight, you know, we're co-main event with Jake Paul. You know, the rest of my team kind of believe that I feel like in the next 2 years that we'll be up there fighting, you know, for a belt or somewhere, you know, be a contender for one.
And what is it that separates you from the rest of the pack?
From what?
What separates you from the rest of the up-and-coming talent?
I mean, because I'm H2O, I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory.
Splash.
I believe the nickname originally comes from Bruce Lee, right? Because you flow like water out there?
Yeah.
Anderson Silva.
Perfect record, too.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot of those guys in that weight division are getting knockouts.
Cool. That's a cool nickname, right, Anderson? Like Bruce Lee, H2O is his nickname.
Yeah, it's a good name.
No, thank you.
But you know, you have a lot of responsibility with this name, you know? You know that, huh?
Yeah, of course.
All right, perfect.
I'll take care of it.
Yep.
What's up, guys? Dylan Rush with Fight Club. This one's for Chris. How has this fight week differed from previous fight weeks in your career, whether it be with Bellator and UFC? And what has been your favorite part of this overall experience so far?
There's not a big difference between any of those fight Bellator or UFC. It's just another fight week for me, and yeah, I'm taking it just taking it as it is.
And you probably know better than anyone, as a part of Nate Diaz's army. You see Nate Diaz fighting that man right there one day, Jake Paul. You see him get in here in the boxing ring one day.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got options. It's up to him. You know what I mean? Just asking the wrong guy.
Thank you.
I can't help myself. Part of the theme of your last few fights has been bets, Jake. I'm just wondering if this time around, are we going to do that, or?
I have a bet.
You do?
I have a bet.
Wow.
I have a bet for you, Anderson.
For Anderson, okay.
All right. It's a good one. It's a good one.
No.
All right, so look. If you win, I'll give you something that you probably want.
Okay, you start again. No tattoos.
No.
No tattoos.
No, if you win, I will fight you in an MMA fight.
Whoa!
Wow.
You're so smart because I don't fight MMA anymore. You're so smart.
Kickboxing.
I got you.
Kickboxing.
Okay. Kickboxing. All right.
Kickboxing. But if I win, me and you come together to create a United Fighters Association to help UFC fighters get better pay and better health care. You become the interim president, and we unite to help these fighters once and for all.
Deal.
Wow.
Let's go.
That's official right there. That's official. And I had no idea. That's huge. So again, if you lose, you will fight him in a kickboxing match? You're sure about this? Before we make it 100%. Kickboxing, not MMA?
No, MMA not. No, it's too hard.
It's too hard, so kickboxing.
Too hard. Yeah, kickboxing.
Kickboxing.
Right.
And if you win, he is going to help you start essentially an MMA Fighters Association, a UFC Fighters Association.
Correct.
Not UFC Fighters Association, but MMA Association for help
all fighters.
all MMA fighters. You know?
All fighters to help them get increased fighter pay and long-term health care.
Wow, you're down with that?
Yeah, deal.
Dr. Mike's going to jump in too. You're going to be a part of this also, Dr.
You
Mike.
guys need a medical commissioner, hit me up.
Perfect. Dr.
No,
Mike's gonna be your-
and we need all the help we could get. You know,
Okay.
guys like Francis, Israel. You know, even Andre Ward spoke about this in the boxing world. GSPs tried to make this happen before, so we would just need all the help we could get, and I think Anderson is a great first
Absolutely.
start.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Nikisa, are you okay with that? Yeah? I just want to make sure as Jake's business partner. Okay, he gave the thumbs up. Can't wait. We're either getting a kickboxing rematch or an MMA Fighters Association. I love it. All right, that was a lot of fun, guys. How about that? Can't wait for it again. Saturday night.